Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
We start with breaking news. A part of Highway 17 that runs through Moses Lake is closed tonight due to a drive-by shooting. The closed portion of the highway is between Patton Boulevard and Grape Drive. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says they received reports of a drive-by shooting involving 2 vehicles at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Suspects are in custody. Right now, there is no known time for when this highway will reopen, and drivers are advised to take alternate routes. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sydney Charles, filling in for Jordan Smith tonight. Spokane police are investigating a homicide in northeast Spokane. A body was found in an empty home near East Lyons Avenue and North Napa Street yesterday morning at around 10 a.m. SPD's Major Crime Unit and the Spokane County Forensic Unit responded to the scene and are processing it for evidence. According to SPD, information about this investigation will be released at a later time. Now, police are asking anyone with information on what happened to call Crime Check. That number is listed right there on your screen. Well, a Post Falls woman's friends and family are mourning after tragedy struck in Coeur d'Alene yesterday. 68-year-old Diane Williams was killed by a fallen tree while driving. It happened yesterday morning. And take a look at the damage in this picture. You can see the front end of the car was completely crushed. Allison Martinez has our story.
What you see here right behind me is the remains of a tree that fell and killed a Post Falls woman yesterday morning. Today I spoke with her close friend who tells me this woman was loved and adored by many.
Give that person a hug before they walk out the door, because I gave Diane a hug and then I never got to see her again.
Beth was a close friend and neighbor to Diane, who moved to Post Falls 6 years ago. In a short time, Diane made a wide circle of close friends. She also started a dog daycare that was so successful, she had to start turning people away.
There are so many people who are so endeared to this woman. I have never in my life met anybody as kind and considerate and generous and caring as Diane Williams.
Beth says she'll always remember how Diane would do everything in her power to protect the people she loved.
She would tell a white lie faster than anybody in the whole wide world, because she just wanted to spare you, any kind of pain or any kind of hurt. And so now, right now, our entire neighborhood and her extended family and her friends in California, we are all hurting right now. And there's no little white lie big enough to tell right now to take that away.
Yesterday morning, a dead tree randomly fell and struck Diane while driving just minutes away from her home. Fire officials are calling the incident a freak accident.
That accident happened so quickly and so abruptly that I know she didn't suffer. She wasn't in any pain.
Beth says a celebration of life is being planned to honor Diane and all the people and pets she touched.
And if there is anyone on this earth who is in heaven right now, it is Diane Williams.
Reporting in Post Falls, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
And thank you, Allison, for that report. We take you now to your weather forecast. Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray. We got a break from the wet weather today, but it is not going to last for long. Already, you can see right around the edges of our radar picture, we're seeing a little bit of rain. Let's zoom out and let's give you a bit of a different perspective, because the next round of rain is starting to move closer and closer to the inland northwest. And if we take a little bit of a slanted view here, you can kind of see all this wet weather around the Portland area. That will be crossing the southern part of the Cascades in Washington State into the Yakima area, and then eventually will try to make its way into Spokane as early as the late hours of tonight. And there's a lot more moisture coming in behind this. As a matter of fact, we're keeping an eye on, say, around the Vantage and Ellensburg areas and around Yakima right now for a little bit of moisture. This will be tracking across Grant County, potentially dropping a few drops of rain, and then heading further north into some of our northern counties over the next few hours. But here's how things play out here. The odds for some rain coming in by the time we get to 11 o'clock or midnight, still fairly high, but have actually dropped these a little bit since our 5 o'clock program, as things are starting to look a little bit on the dry side for that middle portion of the overnight hours. But by the time we get up in the morning, No doubt about it. There's going to be lots of wet weather around. It's going to be sticking around here for more than just the start of Monday. I'll take you through the first part of your week, which looks a little soggy once again, coming up.
Matt, thank you. Well, a hearing to dismiss charges against the suspect of a quadruple murder is scheduled to take place tomorrow at the Shoshone County Courthouse. Last month, Marjorie John Kaler filed a motion arguing that the state has not shown sufficient evidence that the deaths constitute as first-degree murder. Kaler's attorney argues that there were no prior threats or mistreatment towards the family of 4 who lived in Kellogg. He has pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. The hearing is scheduled for tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. And in Seattle this weekend, take a look at your screen. This is what is left after a bus crashed into another vehicle, then a building yesterday. 1 person was killed and several others were injured. Authorities say it involved a King County Metro bus. The Seattle Fire Department is still investigating the incident, but they expect those who are injured will be okay. And tomorrow, Spokane City Council will vote on an ordinance that could cost you some money. If passed, the proposal would add permitting fees for the installation of solar panels or electric car charging stations. Solar panels installed on a single-family home would have installation, planning, and fire inspection fees amounting to $275. Mayor Nadine Woodward has pointed to reinstating this cost in an effort to help offset the $20 million shortfall in the city's budget. The City Council will vote on this tomorrow night. Well, Election Day is this Tuesday, November 7th, and 4 News Now will have extended coverage with live updates on KXLY Plus throughout election night. And you can find ballot breakdowns or more general election information on our website, kxly.com/forthepeople. Well, next summer, Spokane will be home to women's professional soccer, and we're now one step closer to seeing that become a reality now, Alex. Our Alex Crescenti was at the Davenport Grand, where the United Soccer League and ownership had a big announcement.
Yeah, that's right, Sydney. We were wondering for a few months now what the newest USL Super League franchise would look like, the logo, the jersey. Well, today we found out, and they will be the Spokane Zephyr, the tagline being the winds of change. More than 2,000 people packed inside the Davenport Grand Ballroom to see the unveiling today. Spokane Zephyr FC are one of 8 new teams joining the USL Super League as they will begin their inaugural season next summer over at One Spokane Stadium. Now, the logo itself is similar to the Velocity, with that impact blue being the primary color. But owner Katie Harnato says the decision on Zephyr came down to wanting 2 distinct brands for both the men's and the women's team.
I didn't want one brand that became the Lady Velocity. No offense to other sports teams that do that, but I think women deserve much better. And so we knew that we needed a brand for the men's team, we needed a brand for the women's team, and we needed something strong. We needed something that Spokane could rally behind. And we also needed something, because we came up with Velocity first, so we needed something that could connect those 2 brands together. So Velocity obviously means power and force, and wind is forceful and powerful, and both really resonate here in Spokane. It was pretty easy once we saw it. It felt right.
Now, along with the Super League team, the Zephyr will also have a W League franchise, which is going to comprise of some of the best college talent around the country, and that's going to be played during the summer months as well. But we got to get past this winter first. That's a long way to go. Sydney, send it back over to you.
Alex, thank you. And there's still much more to cover on 4 News Now right after the break. Israel's war against the Palestinian military group Hamas continues. Dozens of people were killed during a blast at a refugee camp in central Gaza this weekend. We'll have the latest details from the Middle East right after this break.
And it has been a soggy November so far. How wet has it been? Well, the 2 wettest days so far in 2023 were since November 1st, which, by the way, was Wednesday. So crazy stuff. Probably says a lot more about how dry it's been here this year. We got another wet day coming up that'll add to what's already been an impressive November rainfall total coming up.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY Plus.
4 News Now is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. And during the Veterans Day sale at Furniture Row, you'll find sale prices throughout the store. Plus, 4 years, no interest. The Veterans Day sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Betsy Wilkerson doesn't just talk about strengthening community safety. She spent her career doing it. During her tenure on City Council, Betsy Wilkerson increased funding for our police and firefighters every single year. Betsy voted to prevent open drug use in our streets while increasing mental health resources. And Betsy secured funding for our Spokane police and fire academies to invest in top-notch training. So don't believe the lies and attacks. Betsy Wilkerson's record of strengthening community safety is clear.
I'm Betsy Wilkerson, and I'd be honored to have your vote.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. November 10th and 11th, First Interstate Center for the Arts. On sale now.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at GAWon'tWait.com.
Things have gotten worse, and they need to get better because Spokane is a wonderful community.
We need a Spokane City Council that will actually work with our mayor and not fight against her to protect our safety.
I feel like a victim all the time, whether it's my personal thefts that I've had to deal with my own property or calling on behalf of tenants or owners.
We've had our car stolen from out in front of our house.
A safer Spokane, it starts with Mayor Woodward.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. And during the Veterans Day sale at Furniture Row, you'll find sale prices throughout the store. Plus, 4 years, no interest. The Veterans Day sale, on now at Furniture Row.
4 News Now is brought to you by Spokane Tribe Casino.
Welcome back. Tonight we soar high over the Mackenzie Conservation Area in Newman Lake. The area includes upland evergreen forest as well as wetlands and 2 streams and springs. Let's head out there with this week's Air 4 adventure.
We're at the Mackenzie Reserve by Newman Lake.
It's a big enough tract that you can get into the woods, and it's quiet back in here. And you also get a bunch of little ecosystems. On the south side, sunny side, you got the ponderosa pine, and then in the shady sides, you've got the Doug fir, and you've got some cedar in there. And then down by the lake, you got some cottonwood trees and some open meadows. So it's really a nice piece of property with all different kinds of terrain in there. It's great. In the winter, it's a good trail for cross-country skiing, miles of trail. But the other times of the year, the horses, there's enough room here to have horses in here. And it's just a great variety of walks here.
And you can get down to see the lake, and that's nice.
You can also, we access it from the water and come around from Lake Newman and then come around into it that way. So it's nice.
You get up there on the rock and get a good view of the lake and watch the birds. There's eagles out here nesting.
Yeah, and there's osprey, a bunch of wild ducks, and that if you're out on the lake, it looks kind of like a turtle basking in the sun. Rock that's been sculpted when the lake was higher. There's several old beach lines, so it's got it's kind of been undercut, and it's a large rock, but it's as big as a house.
Being out in nature, just being out.
Yeah, you get to slow down, and there all you hear is the whining of your dog.
And you know what? It ended up being a pretty good day to be out in nature. Nice to salvage the second half of the weekend after how rainy it was on Saturday. Second rainiest day here we've had in 2023. And tonight, here comes the rain again. Break out the Eurythmics CD. Tonight, through that. And then for Monday, another rainy day. Don't think it's going to be quite as wet as what we saw Saturday or this past Thursday. And then later in the week, when we dry out again, we'll actually see some cooler weather as freezing temperatures return to the forecast. And you can see here already, we're up over an inch here in the month of November. So maybe we'll get to average rainfall for a month. We've only had one so far in 2023. That would be really nice. Certainly this rain coming in for Monday and for parts of Tuesday is really going to help. Here's the ballpark projections here for rain over the next couple of days. And certainly in North Idaho, where we've been dealing with long-term drought, another, say, ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch would be really helpful. This is going to be for Spokane a little bit less of a rainfall type of event. Certainly in eastern Washington, it's going to be more of a quick passing type of rain. We have a chance for rain about midnight or a little bit later than that, although I have to say, just kind of watching some of the short-term trends here, not sure how much we'll actually get out of that first initial push of moisture. But things are definitely going to be a little bit wetter as we head towards the morning commute on Monday. And once again, not a big shield of steady rain like we've seen with the last couple of storms, but instead we'll see off and on showers. Some will be a little bit heavier, some will be a little bit lighter. Either way, you're going to want the rain gear as we go through the day. We see spotty showers that'll occasionally pack a little bit of heavy rain. We could even see a few isolated lightning strikes as we get into the afternoon on Monday. And then for the evening, things quiet, at least for the beginning of the evening. But late in the evening, we start to see that wet weather begin to spread across the area again. And this is us waking up on Tuesday morning where, take a look at this, look out past, seeing a little bit of snow. So we'll be talking about maybe some travel issues for those high elevation zones as we get into Tuesday morning. So just something to keep in mind if you do have some travel plans during that time frame. But most of us, we're going to be okay. Morning forecasts, yeah, make sure the kids have the rain gear, not just for Monday, but Tuesday as well. But this is your Monday forecast. Really mild morning temperatures, only in the low 40s. And we'll see highs right around 50 degrees, which is a few degrees above average for this point of the year in the Spokane area. We'll be right about average at 48 in Coeur d'Alene, upper 50s in the LC Valley with, yeah, a chance to hear maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. They'll be rare, but it'll be out there around the Palouse in the LC Valley. 60% chance of rain for the first half of Tuesday. We'll start to see things in the backside of Tuesday really start to improve. Maybe the sun will even come out before it sets at like 4:00 something or whatever. I don't know. Not happy about the late sunsets or the early sunsets. Wednesday, Thursday, a little bit more sunshine. Cool temperatures as well. We'll be down to freezing, and that'll last for a few nights. No hard freezes like a couple of weeks ago, but definitely something to keep in mind for those morning hours.
Matt, thank you so much. In Washington, D.C. yesterday, tens of thousands of people rallied in support for Palestine. Speakers called for an end to the bombings and the ground operations in Gaza. Now, dozens were killed and many more injured in a blast at a crowded refugee camp in central Gaza late Saturday night. This morning, dozens search for survivors in the rubble. The densely packed Al-Maghazi camp lies to the south of Gaza City. One of the doctors there says more than 30 people were killed, mostly women and children. Israel's attacks have killed more than 9,000 people in Gaza since October 7th, according to the health ministry. The Israeli military has not commented on whether it was targeting the area. Well, coming up in sports, the Washington State Cougars season continues to go from bad to worse after their loss to Stanford last night. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti tells us just how bad they were once again and what they need to do to make a bowl game.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
When I speak to families across Spokane, it's clear we want the same things. Our family to be safe, affordable housing, economic opportunities, and good jobs for our children and grandchildren. We want our streets fixed, our river protected, and a compassionate, effective response to homelessness. Families from Indian Trail to Lincoln Heights are ready for us to pull together and build a better Spokane. It feels pretty divided in Spokane right now, but bridges bring us together, and when I'm mayor, we'll build some new ones. I'm Lisa Brown. I approve this message.
With holidays right around the corner, Ironstone Furniture and Fire is offering discounts on all in-stock dining sets, along with simplicity, indulgence, and endless possibilities. So, when you're looking for dining at its best, visit Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andes' priority. Get ready for the cold with a high-efficiency furnace from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andes offers a wide range of top-quality heating systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andes' team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can trust Andes to diagnose and fix any issue efficiently. Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show, an experience you will never forget. Discover Santa's all-new North Pole with holiday getaways starting at only $250.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa. I like lunch.
Give in to deliciousness. Buy one craveable classic and get another one for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
After finding their way into first place of the NFC West last week, the Seattle Seahawks were looking to back up that position this afternoon. But would the Baltimore Ravens prove to be too much for this young team? In short, yes. Well, let's get to it. The second quarter.
We know every game's going to be tough, man. This is the NFL. There's great players all across the league. It's a tough game. It's a real tough game, and you got to go out there and you got to play disciplined football in order.
Couldn't convert on third down, and so it's just a really hard, long day against a really good team, and they took it to us. So I got to give them a lot of credit.
Seattle will return home to face the Washington Commanders next week. They're coming off a win against the lowly New England Patriots this afternoon. And in Pullman, there isn't much that we can say about Washington State that hasn't been already said before. In the last 5 weeks or so, their losing streak now sits at 5 games, and their chances of a bowl game really at this point are just slim to none. And on Saturday nights, it may have been the ugliest performance on the offensive side of the ball to date. In their 10-7 loss to Stanford, the Cougars only managed 241 total yards of offense. Only 4 of those came on the ground, so they've just completely given up on the rushing game, no matter what they say in the press conferences every week. Now, obviously, the wet conditions were a factor, but that's really not an excuse as to why this once high-powered offense can't get more than 7 points against one of the worst teams in the Pac-12. Come on.
We're in the back half of the season, or the back quarter of the season. I mean, we reduced quite a bit of practice time to make sure we're fresh and healthy, and, you know, we're a little bit banged up at certain positions, and we're missing some guys out there, and that's football. So at the end of the day, we're going to believe in our process, and we're going to stay true to it.
I mean, we're doing the same stuff that we're doing when we were 4-0. So I don't think we need to change anything. I mean, we won with this, the way we're doing things, and I think going to the next 3 games, we're going to win those games.
Now, the Cougs are going to travel out to Berkeley next weekend to take on the Golden Bears. Loser likely is going to be sitting at last place in the conference when it's all said and done. Now, even if WSU can get past Cal, they still need a win against Colorado or Washington. And at this point, does anyone believe that that's possible? Probably not. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-435-6817.
There's nothing worse than politicians who say one thing then do another. Like Lisa Brown, who said,
people care about crime. They want people who break laws to be held accountable by our law enforcement system. I believe that.
Brown's actual record? She gave our tax dollars to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. Brown gave a $50,000 grant to La Taxion, a felon convicted of murder. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
A heated mayoral race, controversial issues on the ballot. This Tuesday, get For the People election coverage from 4 News Now. Results, reaction, and analysis. Watch all day on 4 News Now and streaming free on KXLY+.
Have you ever wondered what an icon, a legend, a legacy, a pop star, and a tight end all have in common? They all got this season's updated COVID-19 shot to help better protect them against recent variants. Got it? Got yours?
With Nurtec ODT, I can treat a migraine when it strikes and prevent migraine attacks, all in one.
Don't take if allergic to Nurtec. Allergic reactions can occur, even days after using. Most common side effects were nausea, indigestion, and stomach pain.
Ask about Nurtec ODT.
Friends and neighbors call me the squeaky wheel because when something needs attention, I make noise. On my neighborhood council, as a public school parent, or in City Hall. So when our community isn't getting the attention it deserves, I run for City Council because Northeast Spokane needs a squeaky wheel for our community, for small businesses, for families like mine. I'm Lindsay Shaw, running for City Council District 1 to be your squeaky wheel.
Rain, rain, go away, please. Well, I tried to today. Not so much for your Monday. And for a good bulk of your Tuesday as well. Some pretty nice looking days, even though they'll be a little bit cooler for Wednesday and Thursday of this upcoming week. But we're in a largely wet and showery pattern. And at least for now, it doesn't look like that's going to be going anywhere. Very short breaks in the weather.
Gosh, well, at least there's some breaks in there, right? Just a
little. At least there is some, yes.
Just a little bit.
Take it. See you in a lot of guys.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.